You were negligent.
I was never able to buy 2 pair of Nikes, 2 cell phones, 2 this.
You didn't buy anything.
Well, so now I get punished because money worthy, to keep them happy.
You had no doubt you were the biological father.
I had no doubt.
Why is his name listed as the legal father on a birth certificate if you say you knew he was not the biological father?
Because while I was drugged up in the hospital, he had signed the papers.
I feel like there's a possibility that...
Do you know who your baby daddy is?
No, you
don't. Yes, but okay.
No, you don't. I feel like a possibility that it's not my baby.
You was a side chick. You just mad because your baby they never claimed you.
Ms. Eggleston throws a curveball right out of the gate, stating that the man who raised her and her twin sister recently shocked them with the news that he is not their biological father. They've taken their doubts to court, suspecting that his claim is driven by financial motives. You won't believe what's coming next.
You and your identical twin sister state that the man who raised you recently shocked you when he announced he is not biological father. Finances are motivating your alleged father's claims. That you know for sure that the plaintiff's father is a white man and you are not their biological dad.
Here's where the plot thickens. At a family birthday bash a year ago, Ms. Eggleston and her sister accidentally eavesdropped on a conversation that turned their world upside down. They overheard their supposed dad confessing to relatives that he wasn't their real father, sparking the need for this paternity test. Brace yourself, the drama escalates from here.
And we overheard him speaking to some of our family members saying, y'all know these not my kids. That's what he was saying. We heard him. Now we was listening. Saying to our family members, y'all know they're not my kids.
I'm down here raising.
But our family members didn't say anything back.
Yeah,
nobody said anything. It was just drama. I'm just speaking under the influence of alcohol.
Exactly.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more intense, Mr. Eggleston steps up to the mic. He spills the beans, admitting he's known all along that he isn't the biological father of the twins, a bombshell he attributes to his knowledge of their mother's past relationships. Keep watching. The revelations get juicier.
None whatsoever. We grew up as him being our father. He would come visit us. He would take us out. He's been there. He's on our birth certificate.
Yeah.
He's our dad.
Why is it that you believe you're not their father?
Knowing from the start, I knew they wasn't mine.
Wait until you get a load of this backstory. In a humorous but insightful recount, Mr. Eggleston describes how he first met the twins' mother in a scenario involving barbecues and noticeable physical attractions. This chance meeting led to an unexpected family life, setting the stage for the complex family dynamics we see today. And guess what? There's more to come.
She was in the backyard barbecuing, and I noticed his big, beautiful smile, big breasts. And
Notice those, huh?
yeah, made a date, Eventually we got together, and I'm living in her mama's basement, and not too soon after that, she's on the phone calling some guy out, telling him to send money. I'm pregnant, and she's looking at me going like this.
The tension hits a new high here. The court delves into the gritty details of financial and emotional neglect as the twins confront Mr. Eggleston about his perceived shortcomings as a father. The air is thick with accusations and defenses. Fasten your seatbelt. It's about to get even bumpier.
What school clothes did you buy? How did you take you
I'm a single parent, I'm a single parent.
Claims that their childhood was less than stellar because you were negligent.
I was never able to buy 2 pair of Nike cell phones, 2 this,
You didn't buy anything.
So now I get punished. I'm not money worthy, to keep them happy.
This part tugs at the heartstrings. The twins reflect on the painful loss of their mother and how Mr. Eggleston's actions thereafter added to their distress. They question his motives, suspecting financial gain was at the heart of his decision to take them in. The emotional roller coaster doesn't stop here. The next turn is a doozy.
When your mom passed away, he did take you in.
Yes, and he took it.
A year later,
he took it.
And before we left, my mom's mom told us he didn't want us till he found out he was gonna be getting $900 a month. She said that he was not hollering about taking y'all to Columbus. Money was involved.
So he packed you all
and she told us
and
to
moved you
prepare
to
for that. She said, be
Columbus.
aware. Yeah.
Hold on to your seats, folks. Mr. Eggleston digs deeper into his doubts about being the father, citing a rare skin condition the twins have that supposedly points to a different racial heritage. This medical twist adds another layer of mystery to the ongoing paternity saga. But wait, there's more to this story.
Forget what they said, I'm gonna just figure out on my own. And I found out that the skin treatment is not just for Caucasians.
Did you bring some of that research in? So in your mind, without expressing to them, your doubts are getting validated. Is that what I'm understanding?
It was validated on her birthday. When is your mother's birthday?
August 4th.
Add 9 months to that.
Are you ready for another twist? A family friend's testimony throws a wrench into the narrative, suggesting the twins' mother had a financially incentivized relationship with another man, which might align with Mr. Eggleston's suspicions about not being the father. The suspense builds as we edge closer to the truth.
So she sent a video statement in. I'd like to play that statement, please.
Right, you say he's
not the father. He should have said this from the very beginning when the first month when Sophia, that's what he should have said when the twins were born. And I don't want Greg to tell me ever again that he's not the father.
And that's true.
The moment of truth is here, and boy, is it a doozy. The results of the paternity test are finally revealed.
When it comes to whether Mr. Rodney Eggleston is the father of Antonia and Rodnea, Mr. Eggleston are their father.
Get ready for a roller coaster. Ms. Sales claims she and Mr. Jackson were in a serious relationship and decided to have a baby. After the birth of their daughter, Mikia, Mr. Jackson denies paternity, leading Ms. Sales to seek legal confirmation and support. Buckle up because Mr. Jackson's comeback is a doozy.
Ms. Sales, you claim that you and the defendant, Mr. Jackson, were in a serious relationship and it was his idea to have a baby, but that your 3-year-old daughter, Micaiah, is here. He denies being her father. You want him to step up and take care of his daughter.
Did that just drop like a hot potato? Mr. Jackson refutes the claim of a serious relationship, labeling Ms. Sales as a side chick who is attempting to trap him because she wants him back. He firmly believes he is not the father of her child. The courtroom's next reaction is a popcorn moment.
That Ms. Sales is a former side chick who is trying to pin a baby on you only because she wants you back in her life. You are certain you are not her daughter's father. So Ms. Sales, explain why you opened your case today.
I opened my case today because I was with D'Amico for 5 years.
Hold on to your seats, here it comes. Ms. Sales opens her case, frustrated by Mr. Jackson's denial of their 5-year relationship and his paternity of their daughter. She attributes his denial to familial pressure and the child's lighter skin tone, which he claimed disproves his paternity due to their differing complexions. The atmosphere's about to get electric. Watch the crowd go wild.
Mr. Jackson, she said you were in a 5-year relationship. Is that true?
No, ma'am.
So what were we doing, Miko?
What were you doing?
Huh?
You know, she was like my side woman.
Your side woman?
She was your side woman.
Miko, you gonna stand her
So
lie?
it's your testimony you weren't in a relationship at all.
I mean, we had a relationship, but it wasn't serious. We was just, you know.
You left your ex to come be with me. How was we not in a relationship?
You couldn't script this any better. The court dives into the specifics of their relationship. Mr. Jackson insists it was casual and primarily sexual, while Ms. Sales argues it was meaningful and exclusive. This discrepancy highlights the core dispute over the nature of their relationship and the paternity issue. And get ready for the heat to turn up in the courtroom.
I made it clear to her before. She understood.
Stop lying. He came to my house every single day.
But, you know, regardless, you could still make a baby even though she might have been your side woman. I mean, none of that prevents you from becoming a father.
Yes, but I wasn't the only man that was smashing.
He's lying. He was the only person that I was messing with, the only person I had been with for a year before I even got pregnant.
The tension's notching up a level. The focus shifts to the circumstances surrounding the discovery of Ms. Sales' pregnancy. Despite Mr. Jackson's claim of a non-serious relationship, he accompanied her to hospital visits, which contradicts his narrative. Fasten your seatbelts. What's next is truly jaw-dropping.
And so take me to that day. How did she tell you?
First we went in, she had a situation with her urine, stuff like that, problem.
So you went to the hospital for something else?
Yes, ma'am.
I went to the doctor because I had a cyst ruptured stomach, so I had to go to the hospital because I was very sick, but he was my side piece, right? But he took me and went with me to the hospital. I was getting a lot of tests ran and things done to me. They was telling me no, I wasn't pregnant at the time because I had polyps.
The drama intensifies with this twist. Mr. Jackson presents a calendar to trace the timeline of their relationship and the pregnancy, attempting to establish a timeline that absolves him of paternity. The court challenges the plausibility of his claims given their frequent interactions. You won't believe what the judge will say next. Stick around.
A random person he found on my messenger that I guess had said, "What's up, hey baby," one of the extra 100 guys that do that too, and he picked that one out because he was licensed.
Oh, so you're saying he concocted the cheating story after Micaiah was born?
Yeah.
Based upon her skin color?
Yes.
So you actually submitted a calendar to the court to outline your doubt.
I broke up with Ms. Sales June. I got back with my ex July. We went to the hospital in August to check about her uterus because she had problems.
Didn't see that coming, did you? The court hears from Mr. Jackson's sister, who supports his claim that Ms. Sales might have been involved with another man. This adds another layer to the paternity dispute, suggesting possible infidelity. Watch how Ms. Sales tackles this curveball in the next segment.
Because he said Ashley admitted to him that she had slept with the light-skinned dude with dreads, and there's a possibility that Micaiah might not be his.
And what did you tell your brother, Ms. Jackson?
I just told him to take a DNA test, which he said he tried to take one.
Fake the fallout, start crying, things like that. So we had to leave.
I drove up there. It was my car.
We had to leave.
How do you fake a fallout?
She started crying outside the building because she didn't want to take
Was you standing there for you?
No, he told me.
Now, things get deeply personal. The emotional peak of the case, where the nature of their relationship and Mr. Jackson's feelings towards Ms. Sales and the child are scrutinized. Despite his earlier denials, his actions suggest some level of care and involvement. The judge is about to drop some serious wisdom. Don't go anywhere.
You don't go sit at hospitals with your side chick. You were not committed, and yet you all were very connected in the sense you spent a lot of time together.
We played house, I guess.
Right.
I feel like there's a possibility
Girl,
that...
do you know who your baby daddy is?
No, you don't.
Yes, but okay.
No, you don't. I feel like a possibility that it's not my baby.
She was a side chick.
You just mad because your baby they never claimed you.
Here's the big reveal. The DNA results show.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Jackson, you are the father.
Now I know who my baby daddy is.
Miss Sales, you don't have to do that.
Mr. Tessiner expresses his certainty that he is not Mr. Bradley's father, highlighting discrepancies in the conception dates and the fact that another man is listed on the birth certificate and paid child support. It seems like a straightforward denial, but there's a twist coming up that you won't want to miss.
You say for 19 years you've wondered, who is my father? And you're hoping today's DNA test solves your in-family mystery. Claim you are 100% sure you are not Mr. Bradley's father. Say another man is on his birth certificate and paid child support.
Prepare for a heart-tugger. Mr. Bradley describes the emotional impact of growing up without knowing his father. He shares poignant memories of feeling like an outsider at social and scouting events, highlighting the deep sense of void and longing he experienced. The emotional roller coaster doesn't stop here. The next segment turns up the drama.
Really tough going to my football games, not having a father there at my football games. I joined Boy Scouts, so I had to go with a friend and his father, and kind of felt like a third wheel when I watched them. It's kind of tough, and not having a father myself to go camping with and to take to the juries at the Boy Scouts, and kind of just had to go with the other.
Now, here's a curveball. Mr. Tessiner explains why he doubts his paternity, noting the brevity of his relationship with Mr. Bradley's mother and his lack of knowledge about the pregnancy. His disbelief is reinforced by never being contacted about the child. Strap in, because the revelations just keep coming.
I cannot even remember having sex with her, that she was pregnant, or that a baby was born.
Never?
Never.
And so when did you first come to know you potentially had a son?
His aunt brought him to my house and said he was my baby, but I didn't believe her because I had heard nothing, knew nothing about her being pregnant.
This confession might raise some eyebrows. Ms. Bradley admits to a relationship with Mr. Tessiner, but reveals uncertainties about the pregnancy's disclosure. This moment underscores the confusion and lack of communication that exacerbated the paternity mystery. But wait, there's more intrigue just around the corner.
Thought I had told Mr. Tessiner that I was pregnant. I'm not sure on that.
What he's saying may be true.
Right.
You may not have even told him.
Right. I didn't put anybody down on the birth certificate as the dad. Sure, I thought it was my boyfriend I was dating at the time. I hadn't seen Mr. Tessiner in a long time.
Get ready for a heated exchange. A heated discussion unfolds about the name on the birth certificate, with Mr. Bradley arguing that no name should have been listed without paternity confirmation. This segment highlights the legal and emotional complexities surrounding unrecognized paternity. The next clip cranks up the tension even more.
And the name was printed on the man's name on there until 1984.
All right, gentlemen, just one at a time. I want to understand you.
He did not sign that birth certificate.
So there is another man on the birth certificate. He was paying child support.
Went to jail.
Went to jail for failure to pay the child support. All the while,
she knew who my dad was.
Here comes a plot twist. Mr. Tessiner hears rumors that the other man involved took a DNA test and was confirmed as the father, which influenced child support obligations. This revelation adds another layer of doubt and complexity to the case. Hold on to your popcorn. The story takes another sharp turn next.
Other man took a paternity test, was
what
confirmed to be the father,
that's what
and that's why responsible
that's
for
what
child
I heard.
support.
Why is she going after the other man for child support in 1984? If I'm the dad, why didn't you go after me then? I paid child support on my other kids.
You might want to grab some tissues for this part. Mr. Bradley confronts the emotional and familial consequences of the disputed paternity, expressing frustration at the lies that shaped his upbringing and the legal entanglements that affected another man's life. The emotional depth deepens in the following segment, so keep those tissues handy.
And I told him in the car that I was not his son, and I told him how much we looked alike and how much we acted alike.
Did the other man ever have doubt that
Yes,
you were
he
his
did.
biological
his sister told
child?
She said that I've got oceanfront property in Texas.
So she told you point blank?
Point blank. She said, I told you, because I seen her later on at my great-grandmother's funeral, or the one I thought was my great-grandmother.
As the court session nears its conclusion, Mr. Bradley emphasizes his desire for closure and the truth about his paternity, underscoring the personal toll of the ongoing uncertainty and familial strife. The buildup has been real, and the climax is just around the bend.
What they think happened, why they think it happened this way. Either one of these two people are processing what you went through as a child.
I've tried to be. If I didn't give a damn, not even thinking he's mine, I helped him get a house. I went and fixed his girlfriend's cars, his cars.
He's right. I mean, she has lied to me a lot growing up. He did help me get the house.
Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. The DNA results are revealed.
Mr. Tessner, you are his father.
Strap in, because this is where the roller coaster starts. Mr. McRae opens his testimony by claiming that Ms. Moore had him convinced for 10 long months that he was the father of her daughter, DeMiracle, before dropping the bombshell that he isn't. He's in court to prove what he has believed all along, that DeMiracle is his baby. The conviction in his voice could sell ice to Eskimos. Brace yourself, the plot thickens right after this.
Mr. McRae, you claim the defendant led you to believe you fathered her daughter, DeMiracle, for 10 months until she abruptly changed her tune and told you that you are not dad. You are here to prove what you've always known, that DeMiracle is your baby.
Here comes a curveball. Ms. Moore counters with a firm nope, asserting that Mr. McRae is definitely not the biological father of her child. Instead, she claims her husband, Mr. Moore, is the real deal, and she's here to prove just that. The stage is set, the battle lines are drawn, and the air is thick with drama. What's coming next will make your jaw drop.
Ms. Moore, you say you are positive the plaintiff is not your daughter's biological father. Mr. Moore is, and you plan to prove it today. Mr. McRae, you haven't seen your daughter in almost a year and a half?
You might want to grab some tissues for this one. An emotional Mr. McRae talks about the deep bond he feels with DeMiracle, who he hasn't seen in over a year. He talks about her being his world and how seeing her picture alone brings up so many feelings. Ms. Moore quickly counters, dismissing any resemblance between Mr. McRae and DeMiracle. Hang tight, because the emotional roller coaster is just getting started.
I can't have a good relationship with a female because that's all I think about. My focus is on her. She's so gorgeous. And the more I look at her, she looks like me.
I don't think so.
Mr. McRae, until she was 10 months old, were her father.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
I changed her. I played with her, I fed her. I just missed that. I want something that's my own. She knew that.
He did not change her.
Hold on to your popcorn, folks. We discover Mr. McRae's name is on the birth certificate, officially making him the legal dad. Plot twist, right? Ms. Moore throws in another twist, claiming she was too medicated to stop him from signing. The court drama intensifies, and you won't believe what happens next.
This is a certificate of birth.
Yes,
Child's name, DeMiracle Serenity McRae. Father's name, Emmanuel Davis McRae. You are the legal father listed on this birth certificate.
Your Honor.
At the time you signed this, you had no doubt you were the biological father?
I had no doubt.
Why is his name listed as the legal father on a birth certificate if you say you knew he was not the biological father?
Because while I was drugged up in the hospital, he had signed the papers.
Time for a big reveal in the delivery room. Mr. McRae didn't just watch the birth, he cut the umbilical cord, marking his territory as the dad, or so he thought. Ms. Moore wasn't pleased, suggesting he had no right to be there. This scene is more tangled than last year's Christmas lights, and trust me, it only gets more knotted from here.
You sit there, you wait through the birth. Do you participate in the birth?
Yes, I
no,
cut the umbilical cord.
You cut the umbilical cord?
Yes,
Yeah, he cut it, but he was sitting inside.
Well, wait a minute, Ms. Moore. Now, if this is not your husband, you weren't married to him, say you didn't believe he was the biological father of this child, he said he wasn't leaving unless a body bag took him out or security, well then why wouldn't you just call
Because I was already drugged up. They had with epidural in me and I don't remember anything because I was in so much pain.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, like the finale of a fireworks show. The DNA results are in.
The biological father is Mr. Moore. He is the biological father. Can you accept that?
I can accept it. It hurts.
I know.
I gotta move on. She's still pretty to me.